Quickly, before the video starts, a reminder, click subscribe and then notifications. Yes, I've already reached 100,000 subscribers, but let's keep the momentum going. For decades, it seems like the premium American automotive brands chase the Europeans, disowning their own distinct personality and heritage. It's hard to soar on borrowed wings. Apparently, someone in charge at Lincoln loves Shakespeare or has a great therapist and decided to thine own self be true. The Aviator, a 3-row SUV that slots below Navigator, sets its own American luxury course. There's a surprising amount of competition in this segment. Acura MDX, Audi Q7, Infiniti QX60, Cadillac XT6, Volvo XC90. But the Lincoln has something that none of those have, an actual name. Confusing alphanumeric nomenclature has been grounded. Thank you. I'm at the press launch in Yountville, California, and more than just the name, Lincoln goes its own way on so many levels, starting with the design. Yes, Aviator uses the rear drive architecture under Explorer, but the teams worked in different buildings and were not allowed to mingle. The Lincoln truly looks and feels like a premium machine. If you want the definition of modern American luxury, Aviator is it. There's a more powerful plug-in hybrid version dubbed Grand Touring that can go some 18 miles on battery power alone. It packs a whopping 494 horsepower and 630 pound-feet of torque. I'm concentrating on the standard Aviator in this video. It runs with a 3-liter twin-turbo V6 with 400 horsepower and 415 pound-feet of torque. It motivates this 4,800-pound machine. Both gas and hybrid Aviators fly using a 10-speed transmission with piano key operation and the freedom to choose your own ratios if desired. There are plenty of drive modes on a very nicely done cluster screen. Choose between rear and all-wheel drive. An optional adaptive suspension can be had with a camera-based active system. The air suspension kneels when getting out. Look closely and you can see this one rising as we get set to run the roads of the Napa Valley. It lifts in off-road mode and lowers while cruising. Oh, and we're not using keys because these are equipped with Phone as Key feature. You can even send codes to a friend's phone so they can use your Aviator. If so, you're a very good friend. The more powerful plug-in hybrid system is the real hot rod Lincoln here, but the V6 is no slouch. I'll guesstimate Aviator takes flight to 60 miles an hour in 6 to 7 seconds. A nice surprise? Put your foot into the throttle and there's a really nice growl from the V6. Ease off and the Aviator is very quiet. This is a very hushed vehicle, as you would expect. It would pamper a family on long road trips through the wine country. If you're looking to carve up curvy canyon roads and drive hard enough to sicken the kids in a 3-row SUV, by all means buy a Mercedes-AMG GLE 63. Lincoln brands Aviator's overall quality as quiet flight. The Lincoln engineers are on record saying they were not chasing the Bavarians when it came to ride quality and driving dynamics, so I figured Aviator was going to be a bit soft and floaty. No, it's comfortable, yes, but very nicely buttoned down. Corners great. You're not going to be feeling like you're driving a waterbed. An Aviator is one of those SUVs that drives a size smaller than it is. Another thing I'll point out is the transmission. It's always in the right gear and in Excite mode, which is their term for sport. There's nice little downshifts. Very nicely done, guys. Fuel economy is EPA rated at an average of 20 miles per gallon, the same as XT6 and one less than Lexus RX 350L. This particular car is equipped with the optional suspension that has a camera that reads the road surface ahead and then adjusts the suspension if you're about to hit a bump or a pothole. It's remarkable how smooth the ride is. My backside has never been happier. Safety tech like automatic emergency braking with pedestrian detection, blind spot warning, and lane keep assist is standard. Adaptive cruise is part of the optional Co-Pilot 360 Plus package. A luxury vehicle needs to soothe the eyes as well as your bottom. It looks as though Lincoln designers were inspired by a Shinola wristwatch. It's confidently American in here with hefty switchgear and a mile of stitching. I drove premium black label aviators, and the cabins were top flight. Horizontal lines give this space a roomy visual. There's little evidence of raiding the Ford parts bin. There is no shortage of storage spaces. The door pockets are cushioned, and the wide center console has enough room to keep a standard-sized iPad tucked away. Lighting up the cruise control buttons only during operation reduces visual clutter. The voice command system is well located, though I did bump this by accident a few times. If you can't get comfortable in Lincoln's improved, infinitely adjustable seats, check to make sure you're not an ostrich. The massage feature now goes all day long. Heated and vented, the fan is a little on the loud side. The user interface is very straightforward. I find the response a little bit laggy, requiring a deliberate touch. Glad there are enough redundant physical knobs and buttons, so it's not really an issue. Apple CarPlay and Android Auto are along for the ride, and in a vehicle this large, a surround view camera system is good to have. Row number 2 can be had as a 3-person bench or with 2 captain's chairs, depending on model, and those in the 3rd row will appreciate that life can be made more comfortable for them. Equipped at this level, there's no shortage of amenities to coddle the crew. Things can be organized, electronics can be charged up, and the sun can be vanquished. Getting to the way back is easy peasy. But remember, it's an SUV and the floor is higher than a minivan, so getting in and out will be a little bit harder for very small children. Just saying. I'm 5'9". I have plenty of headroom. The seats are down low, so my knees are up high. Footroom is okay. There are belts for 2, and adults can ride back here, but not for long road trips, that's for sure. And while there are cup holders, there are no power ports. It's not overly luxurious here. While storage behind row number 3 is never all that great in this class, this space is on the larger side and muddy stuff can be stashed here. There's a spare tire underneath too. With all of the seats dropped, you could maneuver a small Zeppelin in here. And unlike some SUVs and crossovers, both rows are perfectly flat to help slide long things in. I'm married to a very petite woman, and it's hard for her to reach in to raise row number 3 manually. Powered mechanisms are a big help in this situation. And no, the Costco TP test isn't happening. There's no time at these events. Pricing? Well, it starts at $52,600 for a standard model, rising to $57,900 for the Reserve, topping out at $79,400 for a black label that comes standard with all-wheel drive and 22-inch wheels. The Grand Touring, with its plug-in hybrid powertrain, starts at $70,500. And don't miss the optional Revel 3D audio system. It's terrific. Aviator is an exceptionally done machine. It's quiet, comfortable, powerful, and stylish, but its biggest accomplishment might be Lincoln's confidence to let it stand on its own with a unique classic character. It's not an inexpensive vehicle, but Aviator should fly off dealer lots. On the other end of the size spectrum, Lincoln will soon have the compact Corsair crossover in showrooms, and its cabin has a very similar vibe to this. Did I mention that I love that the company is using names again? And let me stress, Aviator in no way feels like a gussied up Explorer. Kudos to the engineers. In fact, one of them suggested with a wink that maybe, just maybe, the goodness that Lincoln demanded from the architecture made Explorer a better vehicle. I'll be doing a separate video on the Grand Touring model. That's the plug-in hybrid. In the meantime, hope you got something out of my look at the all-new Aviator, and a reminder to click subscribe and then notifications, because I would like to get one of these cars for a longer period of time and do a deeper dive. That way, if I do it, you can see that video. So click subscribe. There's the button right there. I've made it easy for you. All right, that's driven. I'm Tom Voelk.